If you're ever in Tokyo when there's a sumo tournament happening, you get the chance to watch the wrestlers up close when they enter the Kokuikan. For me, that was as much fun as the matches themselves. I'd been following sumo for a year and a half before this trip, so seeing them in person was great. They walk past and the fans applaud and give them well wishes. Here's a typical example. Ikiyoi. That's ikiyoi. What I noticed right away is that these guys don't acknowledge the fans at all. They don't wave, they don't nod. They've got their game faces on and they are all business. Which is why it was striking when I noticed this guy chatting up the fans. His name is Gagamaru from the country of Georgia, and for reasons I don't know, he was up close to the barricades talking to some fans. And as he walked past me, I said hello and put out my hand. Notice how he gives me the side eye when he shakes my hand. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, I put out my hand, he shakes it, and this was my response. Hello. I touched the sumo. I'll have more sumo highlights coming up, but first, today's theme is things to do. I'll put up a graphic for emphasis. Yeah, that probably took me 2 hours to figure out. Anyway, this is a short list of things you might need to decide or do before you go to Japan. Number 1, the JR Rail Pass. The JR Rail Pass is a 7, 14, or 21-day pass that gives you unlimited travel on all JR trains. Now, if you're staying in Tokyo on your trip, then it might not be a good value. My week in Tokyo cost about $60 Canadian per person for a week's worth of train fares. The 7-day pass is about $300. But if you are touring the country, then it might be a good option. There's plenty of information and fare calculators online, so depending on your itinerary, crunch the numbers, it might be something you'll want to buy. If you do, then you'll have to buy the JR Rail Pass before you go to Japan. You can't buy it over there. You buy a voucher online, you trade that voucher in for your pass when you arrive. Number 2, reservations. If there's a specific restaurant you want to go to, it's a good idea to make reservations. Now, different sources online are saying different things about whether you can actually make a reservation directly from overseas, with a slight majority leaning toward no, they won't take your direct reservation. If that happens to you, then what you can do is ask the concierge of your hotel to make the reservation on your behalf. In my case, my hotel had an online automated concierge. I entered the information, and a day or two later, they confirmed the reservation. In one case, I had to give my credit card information, and I had to agree to pay a fee, pretty substantial fee, per person if I didn't show up or if I canceled within 24 hours. So be mindful of any conditions like that. Number 3. Some of you may be familiar with the animated films produced by Studio Ghibli. These are beautifully drawn films full of magic and innocence and childlike whimsy. And they have a museum in Tokyo's West End simply called the Ghibli Museum. Now, if you're a fan of their movies, I would recommend paying a visit. This gives you an inside look at their creative process. You get to see a short film that's exclusive to the museum. There's this beautiful rooftop garden with a 5-meter tall statue of a robot soldier from Castle in the Sky. And you will be amazed to learn that you can spend money in their gift shop. In my case, I got Gigi, the black cat from Kiki's Delivery Service. I also got what I thought was Totoro, but I had misremembered the movie. This is actually Totoro's little blue sidekick. He was $10. The great big Totoro plushie, $50. Get out of here. So instead, I got something more affordable, these little figures. That's Totoro, Ponyo, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and Porco Rosso. Now, if you have no idea what any of these characters or movies are, then I would not recommend the Ghibli Museum. But if you are interested, then you would need to get tickets way in advance. Your chances of getting tickets at the door are roughly 0. So a new monthly block of tickets goes on sale 3 months in advance. So on January 1st, tickets for April go on sale, February 1st, tickets for May, and so forth. You go to their website, follow the links, and if you're in Canada, they'll take you to a company based in Vancouver, and you order tickets through them. You buy a voucher, and on the day of, you trade that voucher in for your ticket at the door. And the ticket actually is a little film strip with 3 random frames from one of their movies, which is pretty cool. And finally, number 4, Sumo Tickets. You can get Sumo Tickets through the official website or through third-party websites. That's what I did, and after I paid the taxes, service charges, and delivery fees, I ended up spending more than I would have liked, but I guess I was paying for the certainty of having tickets and that I was going to go. There is another alternative. During the tournaments in Tokyo, up to 300 same-day tickets are made available every morning. The catch is you have to line up in front of the stadium to buy them at around 7 a.m. It's first come, first serve, cash only, 1 ticket per person, and there's no guarantee that there'll be tickets when you get there. So that's kind of the choice you have to make. Either spend money ahead of time, maybe a little more than face value, or take your chances by lining up. I might do the latter next time I go, but the first time I wanted to be sure that I had tickets and that I was going. And I had a great time, and I'm sure you would too. It's an event that is uniquely Japanese. It's a real spectacle to watch. There's lots of traditions and ceremonies. For example, there's the ring entering ceremony, there's the yokozuna ceremony, there's the bow twirling ceremony, there's the parade of advertising banners. If a specific match is sponsored, then banners with the sponsors' names and logos are paraded around the ring. The more banners, the more prize money for that match. Then there are the matches themselves, and you might be familiar with some of these traditions. First, they extend their arms to show they bring no weapons and come in the spirit of good sportsmanship. Then there's the stomping of the feet to drive away evil spirits. A lesser known ritual is the washing of the body and face at ringside with a washcloth. Then there's the throwing of salt to purify the ring. So there's lots of anticipation for each match, and you're more than ready for the fight to happen. It's a close call whether I geeked out more inside the stadium or outside when the wrestlers were entering. It was this slow build of excitement as each guy arrived, trying to recognize them from a distance. This wrestler's name is Abi. When he walked past, I yelled out his name for no apparent reason. Abi! Abi! This is Aoyama from Bulgaria. His real name is Daniel. Aoyama! This is Tamawashi. Tamawashi! This is Ichinojo, the biggest man in the top division at 500 pounds. Listen for the very excited fan in the background. I reached full-on geek when this guy in the powder blue showed up. His name is Endo. He's a very popular wrestler. His nickname is Mr. Popularity. This is Kaisei from Brazil. For a change of pace, I shouted out his country of origin. Kaisei! Brazil! And this little guy is Enho. At 5'6", 99 kilos, he's the shortest and lightest wrestler in the top division. This was his debut tournament, and he's already a fan favorite. It's a little weird to talk about a 220-pound man as being little, but compared to everyone else, he's teeny tiny. He actually won his match the day I was there against an opponent with a 150-pound weight advantage. In case you might wonder how he's competitive, this was his match. Enho is at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to leave you now with the match of the day, but before that, just a reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Do I dare dream about triple-digit subscribers? And I'm going to leave some links in the description below if you want more information about some of the things I talked about, or if you want to order tickets. All right, this last sequence has 3 clips. The first is the arrival of Tochinoshin. He's another wrestler from the country of Georgia and a huge fan favorite. The second clip is him doing the face washing ritual, and he really gets into it. He puts his whole body into it. It's very funny to watch. And the last clip is the match itself, and you'll hear me completely freak out when he gets both his hands on the opponent's belt. And supposedly that's a very difficult move to break out of. So please enjoy the great Tochinoshin. Until next time.
mackerel.
There it is. Did you see it?
No, I missed it.
Oh. He's got the inside grip. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Once he gets that inside grip, that's it.